Hi guys. I am trying to rebalance myself from the dreaded love reading. I hate love readings. So let's do it. If you want a personal, check the description for my email. All right? Okay. I'm checking for the hole that I burnt in my shirt from my incense. All right. Sorry, y'all. I'm all over the place. Okay, let's do it. Okay, there's like this stop and go energy with you, okay? There's a lot of things coming out as a challenge. Inwardly, spiritually, right? Yay, no love readings. Some of you might go about like, some of you might approach self-work in a different way than others, right? You know what I mean? Like shadow work, self-healing, self-knowledge, all that stuff. You might approach it in different ways than other people would, okay? Make sure you are not allowing people's like opinions kind of hinder your path, okay? Because it's like all this twisty, topsy-turvy, I don't know if I said that right, whatever, energy, okay? And I like see you on a path and you're going like this. It's winding. It's winding, okay? And there's bumps and shit in the road. And some of those bumps are people's opinions, okay? You know what you need to do, all right? Still gotta make sure you're balanced, right? Because you know what you need to do in order to continue growing. And some of you do need to continue taking advice from other people as far as like criticism and things like that. But you also need to learn how to, I guess, discern which advice to take, okay? Use your intuition too when you're hearing people say certain things to you, especially when it's about your path to growth, all right? See, this is that stop and go energy I was seeing. The star, that's supposed to be you. The star. Not necessarily famous, but just, you know, higher self, blah, 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 final form, okay? But we got Eight of Pentacles as a challenge. You're working towards it, but there's something that slows you, okay? It's something about your mental that slows you. I think it's going back to these opinions of people, okay? And I think some of you are actively trying to figure out what advice to take from people and what advice to not take from people. All right. Because everyone has a different approach when it comes to healing, shadow work. All right. Everyone has a different approach. Everyone is going to do things differently. Okay. Some ways work better for other people than it would for you, and some ways that work for you wouldn't work well for other people, okay? Okay, I'm gonna make this part quick, okay? Because this, for some reason, there's some motherfucker that wants to jump in here, okay? Some type of romantic fuck face. They're gonna help you, male or female. They're gonna help you kind of clear out this confusion. All right, they're gonna help you. Okay, they're gonna help the wheel turn. They're gonna be very attractive. They have a lot of knowledge. They're gonna come together and help you. All right, we're pushing them to the wayside. Did you get that though? So that's important for some of you. Some of you are gonna have someone that's gonna help you clear out this clutter. All right, I'm not talking about them anymore. All right, what's this right here? See, Knight of Wands reverse. Very indecisive about your path to knowledge, power. Okay, you're kind of indecisive about it. Why are you indecisive? Do I have to say again? Other people's opinions. They're making you question your path. They make you question your growth. They make you question your progress. Okay? But you still need to, again, discern which advice to take and which advice to not. Because some of you are supposed to take advice from some of these people. But some of them are inserting opinions or perceptions that don't fit the path of enlightenment you're meant to take. Okay? Sorry, y'all. I'm like all over the place today. What's this Hangman and the Magician? This is going back to make sure you are discerning what people are telling you, all right? Because there's manipulation and truth clashing, all right? Manipulation and truth are clashing. Do you understand? They're clashing, and it's leaving you unable to make a decision on how to continue forward, all right? Truth and manipulation are clashing. These things could be coming out of the same person giving you the good advice, okay? This is why I say you have to discern, because everyone is dealing with their own shit. Everyone is dealing with their own journey, okay? You cannot allow people to push their method of healing onto you. You understand? Your method might be a little harsher than others, but sometimes you're just that much of a stubborn dick that that's the road you have to take, is the harsh road. Others, they might not have to take that. They may mean well by telling you these things. I don't think they mean to actually like manipulate you. I don't get like illy energy, right? I don't get ugly energy from them. But there has to be a form of understanding that even though the goal is the same, is to become a healed being, a knowledgeable being, right? Even though it's the same, that doesn't mean you take the same method, the same road, okay? Does this make sense to anyone? I'm so out of it. Well, that was random. Some of you do need to kind of slow down and evaluate things that you already have changed. You need to slow down and like take notes and stuff, right? Because some of you are moving a little too fast and you're missing the point of some lessons. That's why some lessons keep repeating. This fucking hole. That's why some lessons keep repeating, okay? You are moving just a tad too fast, or you're pushing yourself a little too fast, right? And it's to prove a point to yourself. I don't think you're doing this to prove a point to anyone else. You're trying to prove it to yourself, okay? After a life of chaos, a lot of you could have caused your own chaos towards yourself. You know what I mean? So you're trying to improve a little too fast, all right? Some of you too, random thought here, or not random thought, random download, whatever the fuck you want to call it. There could be a baby coming from somewhere. A literal baby, like pregnancy. There could be one coming from somewhere, okay? That was so random. These love readings keep wanting to sneak out. I forbid it. I already did one whole one, and it can suck a whole tit. All right. What's this right here? All right. Some of you also need to be aware too that just because you slip up or just because you are made aware of something else you need to kind of change, it doesn't mean you're failing. I think a lot of you start thinking like let's say someone does point out something to you that is beneficial or something that you really do need to address within, right? I think you start questioning your growth altogether. And then you start thinking you haven't grown at all, or then you start thinking you failed, right? That's not what it is at all, right? Because we're all going to have more shit we have to let out, right? Like vomit. You know, we're all going to have more. And I think some of you could be a little sensitive to these things. So you start insensitive in the way of, again, questioning yourself. All right? So there's a moment coming. There's like some type of shift happening, okay? There's like this opening coming for you. All right? Where you could grow drastically. And I hate to bring this person back in here, but this person I pushed to the wayside, right? They're going to be a part of that huge leap, okay? I'm going to push them back over here, though. Okay, tell me more about this. Okay, we need to do another tarot. Oh, she's Louisa's, whatever. Okay, there is also a challenge, like just you actually physically, not that you haven't seen any like physical evidence of your growth, right? Because you have. It's just hard for you to actually see it. It's hard for you to actually see the physical evidence of how you've grown. Why? Because you're a little hard on yourself. Okay? Why are you hard on yourself? Because you cause a lot of your own chaos, right? So there is going to be a change to that. Like you are going to be able to see the actual changes and address them and give yourself like, I don't want to say brownie points because that sounds so bad, but you'll be able to like pat yourself on the back like, oh, I have done more than I thought, right? And again, it's coming from this fuck face over here, right, that we push to the wayside. But even besides them, right, I think you're just gonna lighten up on yourself a little bit to where you can give yourself more credit where it's due. All right. Okay. Please don't make me bend over and pick you all up. The World and the Nine of Wands reversed, okay? There's definitely a cycle ending of you being so protective of your energy, okay? We need to be protective to an extent, right? And some of you, you're going to be less protective because you will be active. You will actively be able to discern like what advice you need to take from others and what advice you don't need to take, like we talked about in the beginning, right? You're also going to be able to receive things without being so hard on yourself about it, right? If you're going to be able to swallow it in a healthier way, instead of swallowing it in a form of blaming yourself or doubting yourself. Okay. Do we get it? All right. What's this? Definitely, there's definitely gonna be some form of clarity coming in to make you realize that you are an empress or emperor, okay? It's gonna be clarity through self, through more lessons, and through this person over here. Okay? It's going to bring you a lot more peace within, all right? Even peace as far as your foundation. But your foundation being your brain, I just heard. And for this reading, you'll be more settled within, all right? See the sun. Oh, joy approaches. Okay. There's some type of truth approaching you in a very unorthodox way, okay? A very different way, okay? It is, it is something that is going to catch you off guard, all right? Could be this person over here. Could be through someone you never thought would actually see you for who you are. Could be someone you labeled as the enemy because you're so used to being around enemies, okay? It's just, truth is coming. And a good truth, a truth about you. Someone else is going to see you for who you really are before you could see it. I mean, you see it, but you don't. You're so focused on this path of growth that you don't really take time to evaluate and acknowledge who you are now. Okay? Jesus. Anything else? Eight of Cups, you're leaving something behind. Let's see what that is. I think you're abandoning this negative overdrive you put yourself in. See, yep, abandoning the negative overdrive. And then there goes victory. You win. All right? I think we're done. Yeah, see, Five of Cups at the bottom. Queen of Cups under there. Five of Cups. Grieving. Grieving those old parts of you, letting them finally go, not holding them against yourself, and becoming more emotionally stable. All right? Do we get it? Okay. This was lovely. I'm going to do one more, even though I'm on a tight schedule. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys.